So we're having problems starting yesterday afternoon. This disconnect panel just started popping. And it just clicks off constantly. So we had an electrician come over last night and we walked through the house, and I can keep everything in the house on except for cove heaters. And then if I click on one of the 3 cove heater circuits, this pops, but it doesn't trip the breaker, the individual breaker for the cove heater, and it doesn't trip the main power breaker on the inside panel. It just trips this. So he wasn't sure what was going on. We checked some things, and then we came out here and he was having a more and more difficult time clicking this on or off, and he thinks this has gone bad. And I mean, it's only a month. It's a nice square D, and he said that's all they use, just because it's so reliable, all their equipment and stuff. But apparently he said just buy a new unit and reinstall it. So that means I have to call the power company, have them shut this off, do what they're gonna do, and then I have to disassemble this, take it off of here, take it off the house, it's caulked onto the back, undo all the wiring in here, and then just reinstall, which it's weird that it operated fine for a month. He said last night when we had it on, this breaker here was just super hot, even though it was like 10 degrees last night. So, not sure what to do, but I'm gonna get up super early in the morning, drive to Home Depot, buy the same exact setup because the holes are all drilled based on this. And I don't wanna, anyway. And then I'll reinstall this tomorrow if they can shut off the power, and then get the power shut on, but turn back on. But the problem is we were supposed to have plumbing hooked up, and it's freezing cold now. We're entering a week straight of nights in the teens or single digits. So makes me super nervous and frustrated. We'll see what happens. All right, after checking all around Idaho Falls for the main breaker in the disconnect panel, I guess I don't have to replace the whole panel. It's just that main unit. And so I was just gonna rebuy the whole panel because it's cheaper than buying the main unit, but both Lowe's and Home Depot didn't have them. And so I came to Electrical Wholesale, and they were able to get me one in Blackfoot, Idaho, so I have to drive there and get it and then go home. So it's turning into a long day, but we got to get that power sorted out, and I'm hoping this fixes it. Back to driving. All right, so we got the replacement, has the same exact QOM number in this unit. We'll just go into the panel and replace the unit that's already in there. I thought this was built into the panel and I had to replace everything, but no, this attaches independently. So hopefully that's a simple process. Anyway, so now I need to call the power company and say, hey, I'll be there in 2 hours. Can you shut off the power for me? So that when I get there, I can just throw that in place, and hopefully it's straightforward. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we're here. The power guy's he's waiting around for me to finish this. So I'm just gonna swap this unit out, disconnect the power. We just checked it with his meter and everything's off. So here we go. I'm just gonna undo this, and then hopefully just lift this out and put a new one in. All right, he turned that back on after I put it back in. I didn't video because he was here. Cut my finger, of course, in the process. There's the same exact breaker. So, I mean, it was just two nuts and then this screw here in the middle, and just came right off. I just put those back in and clamped them down. So I'm gonna go turn on the cove heaters and hope she stays. Hopefully that was just it. We're good to go. That was easy. I mean, it's 250 bucks for a new breaker, but which would cost more than the whole unit, but Home Depot didn't have any more of these units, and they didn't sell just that breaker. I don't know why that just beeped. Okay. All right, let's go turn the cove heaters on. I was also gonna say, if this doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to hire like an electrician and say, hey, I'll pay you for a couple days and come figure out what's going on. But everything I've read in forums says that if this disconnect is tripping and it's not tripping the inside panel, any of the individual circuit breakers or the main breaker on the inside panel, then it must be something between this disconnect and the big wire that runs for me 70 feet through my crawl space and back up into where my circuit breaker panel is. Like maybe somebody shot a nail into it and it's releasing amperage through that nail into the house or something like that, but I don't know where that would have happened. The only things close to it are where the telecom drove these screws, but I would assume they're wise enough not to go more than a couple inches deeper. And it comes in right here and comes down. They could have driven these screws into it. I guess putting my finger on it though, I would have felt the voltage coming out of it. I don't think we would have hit it by putting this on with any 2-inch staples. Those would barely reach. Yeah, that wouldn't hit it. And we put this all on so I wouldn't have to worry about staples. And I only stapled on the 2 outside edges. I didn't staple where that wire was. So anyway, fingers crossed. An hour from now I'm videoing saying, seems to be fine. But we'll see. It's a beautiful day, but it is cold. It was 13 degrees this morning and it's probably 34 right now, 33. Well, it's been over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and with all 3 everything in the house is turned on with all 3 cove heater circuits included, and it's holding. I'm going to go out and check the temperature of the breaker, make sure it's not hot out there at the disconnect. In the meantime, I took all the doors off so that they can be stained and so that the door jambs can be painted. Our goal is to cold as can be, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed this holds. I go grab my rifle again and slip up into the foothills the last couple hours of the day. It's a beautiful evening up here on the mountain. The sun is about to set.